There are two main events in the history of a nation: the moment in which it is created and the moment in which people determine what kind of nation would it be. As it is well known, the American Civil War was one of the most important historical processes that the United States had passed through in the last centuries. But why did the nation divided into two opposite parties that fought against each other in a bloody war? Or how did slavery define the difference between the economy of each side of the nation? I'll get into that in a few moments. Since the United States became an independent country, the country's economy has grown exponentially. But this growth was almost only seen in one part of it, the North. The Northern economy was catalyzed when the Industrial Revolution came to America, a thing that didn't happen the same way in the South. Both regions had many differences in all aspects of society. The Southern agriculture was based on forced labor, while on the other hand, the Northern agriculture was mostly mechanized. Also, to understand the conflict in a better way, let me first put you in context about this war. The constant migration from Europe helps expand the ideals from Enlightenment, such as liberty and the natural rights in the North. These are all important causes of the Civil War, but the most noticeable and recognized are the differences that they had on slavery. In the middle of the 18th century, many northern states abolished slavery and formed the Republican Party. Then, a few years later, his candidate, Abraham Lincoln, was elected president. Lincoln wanted to abolish slavery in all the country. As he said on a letter he wrote for Albert Hoyes, a newspaper editor from Kentucky, "I am naturally anti-slavery. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. I cannot remember when I did not so think and feel." I decided to support my investigation in this primary source because it helped me to answer my research question by providing me a brief but well-explained overview of one of the most important people involved in the Civil War. This was like an opening for my research that let me formulate more questions and investigate them further. I also supported my investigation with this painting titled "Recognition, North and South" from Constant Mayer. I chose it because of two main reasons. The first one is that it shows the devastation that the Civil War caused in the United States, and that premise seems really interesting to me. The second reason is that the painting was not that complex and seemed really easy to recreate. As a conclusion, the United States of America began to divide in the exact moment they were considered as equals. The people from each part of the country came from different cultures that based their actions on certain beliefs that were passed from generation to generation. As John Locke used to think, every human is born in black, and the things that appear in his life are the factors that define his way of thinking. In the United States, from the half of the 18th century, we can see two perspectives that crash because each one was located on an edge of the political map. Those edges became more noticeable when the Industrial Revolution came to the United States. This phenomenon, in addition to the hundreds of European immigrants that arrived the country, led the North to a social and economical success in comparison to the South. When the Enlightenment ideas began to establish in the North, including the principle of natural rights, many people stood against slavery, which didn't happen in the South because of the same principle that Locke proposes. A person is built by the experiences that he or she lives. The economies kept growing, but the northern states did not want slavery to be legal. So, when President Lincoln became actually president, the southern states seceded from the Union and unified as the Confederate States of America. This way, a collective mind that was born in blank began one of the bloodiest wars ever seen in America, and the rest is now history.